Hello, these are just some of my early seed potatoes. As you can see, they're starting to chit up quite nicely now, but it's still too cold and it's still too wet. You may be able to hear the rain when I'm not talking. It's still too cold and it's still too wet to plant these guys, but we've got a game plan. It's a game plan we've discussed on a number of previous videos, and that game plan involves getting a second crop from the same compost in the same pot in the same growing year. If you're a subscriber of mine, you'll have seen me do this last year and probably the year before. And the way we do that is, these early potatoes take about 12 weeks to maturity, about 3 months. So we plant one of these in a 10-inch pot, and 12 weeks later we empty the pot out and we get 10, 12, 15, 20 potatoes in return for one seed potato in a 10-inch pot. Now I know that's true because I've done it, so I'm speaking from experience. So we're going to put this in a 10-inch pot, and 12 weeks later we're going to take it out. Now 12 weeks later we'll still be in our summer, okay, and what will we have? Well, we'll have some new potatoes to eat, but we'll have an empty pot and we'll have some compost, and we've still got some summer months left. So what are we going to do? How are we going to best use that, utilise the rest of the summer months? Well, why don't we grow something else in that same pot? Why don't we just put that compost straight back in there, perhaps add some blood fish and bone to give it some spark, and then plant something else to grow on through the remainder of the summer months, through into autumn, perhaps into winter. It can be done. I've done it. In fact, I've got it on video and I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to tag it onto this video. Now if you want to have a go at this, I call it crop rotation in a pot, because we've just grown potatoes, we've just harvested potatoes, and now we're going to put these things in the pot, except it will be 3 months from what you can see today. So these guys will have grown another 3 months before those potatoes come out. So I expect these leeks to be as thick as a pencil, there or thereabouts, by the time we put these into the pot. So we're going to put the compost straight back into the pot, add some blood fish and bone to it, and plant some leeks in that pot. And I'm calling that crop rotation in a pot. And we'll get potatoes out of that pot and leeks out of that pot in the same year. Now I've also started some celery, but the celery hasn't germinated yet, and I'll do the same with celery. I'll take the potatoes out and I'll plant some celery in that pot, and now we have potato celery crop rotation. Here we have potato leek crop rotation, all in a pot, all in one season, all on a patio, using the same compost and the same pot. Am I repeating myself? I am. Right, let's move on. Let me show you what we did last year. In mid-July I emptied a pot of early potatoes, and as there were a few summer months left, I thought, why not? Let's pop the mix straight back in the pot and let's plant something in it. So I already had some leeks growing, some small leeks, and I had some small celery plants. So I decided to plant up 4 celery plants and 4 leeks. So let's have a look. Let's see how much these guys have grown in a month. We'll do the leeks first. These are the leeks. As you can see, the wind protectors are still in place. 4 of them in that pot. Okay. They were about the thickness of a pencil a month ago. They look as though they've probably, excuse me Molly, excuse me, they look as though they've probably in your own time, Molly, please, excuse me. They look as though they've probably doubled in size in a month in terms of how thick the shank is on the leek. So those leeks have doubled in size in a month, so I'm quite happy with those. That's 4 leeks in a 10-inch pot. Now let's have a look at this celery. This is the celery. 4 heads of celery in this pot, in this 10-inch pot. As you can see, the windbreaks are still on. And this celery was just and so poking over the top of these windbreaks. We're about that high. So as you can see, this celery's really took off. And it's looking really healthy. It's a celery called Victoria. So I'm happy with the celery, I'm happy with the leeks. So that's 4 heads of celery from a 10-inch pot. Recycled compost, grown on a patio. What do you think? They're going to give it a crack next year. Sow your celery seeds when you sow your early potatoes. By the time your early potatoes come out, your celery should be getting just about big enough to be transplanted into the pot your potatoes have just come out of. Recirculate the compost, just add some blood, fish and bone or any general purpose fertiliser. Bang 4 of these guys in. You've seen how I've used pop bottles as windbreaks, 4 pop bottles, just to keep the wind off the small plants. Give that a go as well if you like. When these guys get too big, take the protectors off. These will stand okay. And then this is the end result. Okay, let's see if we can lift these guys out. Okay, now this is something you won't be able to do if you've grown leeks in your garden. You've had a frost, you won't get them out. So how's that looking? There's the root ball we talked about. This pot's full of roots. 3 leeks. Okay. I'll just get my trowel and we'll take these leeks. So these are not show leeks. They're just leeks that are going to go indoors and be eaten. If you want show leeks, I think you're looking at polytunnels. Big pots, 1 leek in a pot. A bit more fresh compost. But all this is just recycled stuff right now. Did I say these are in about 1 inch? I think I did. So if I go in at about 2 inches, I should be below the white. Let's hope I am, otherwise this will come out with half a white. Did I tell you me and Molly have been on the seashore today? Did I mention that? Can't remember whether I did. Well, I shot a little video while I was down there, not a lot. Hey, there we go. Hold on, Mol. Let me just knock this off. There now. I think roughly where my finger is was the top of that that compost. So look, there is about 1 inch, isn't there? We'll just take that root off. Hey, look at that, there's the evidence, look. A very, very small potato that I didn't get out. And Molly's got her eye on this, that I didn't get out when I recycled that compost. A very small potato that I missed. Oh, Molly hasn't missed it. Have you not, love? You have not, sweetheart. Right, save this guy. Yeah. And this guy here. So, hey, we've done well, haven't we? We've had recycled pop bottles, recycled water buckets for a pot, recycled compost that's already grew potatoes, recycled rocket sticks to hold the pop bottles in place, and a second crop in the same year. Get a load of those. Well, I'll just tidy this one up a bit more. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to strip a couple of flags off these and let you get a better look. Let's take take that one off, that'll tidy it up. Hey, look at that. No, I don't think you like those, Mol. In fact, I'm fairly sure you don't. Now what I'm going to do is, to give you an idea of size, I'm going to offer up one of these 10-inch pots. And they're roughly 10-inch diameter, 10 inches tall. Okay. Now then, take a look at this. I'll just reach across for this pot. Okay, so this is the 10-inch pot that these guys grew in. Right. This guy here, how much weight is there on that? Come on, that pot's 10 inches tall. Come on, homegrown veg. That pot is 10 inches tall. That leek was only into that pot about an inch deep. Now if I hadn't planted these leeks after the early potatoes, I would have got nothing out of this pot again. That would have been it, finished for the year. Compost finished for the year. But look at that. I've got 3 leeks. I would have had 4 if the other one hadn't gone to seed. All over 10 inches in length. From recycled compost. In a cut flower water bucket. Blimey. Hey, it's worth doing. So, for next year, I mean, obviously if you're down the allotment, you're going to be growing a lot more than this, and you're not worried about small pots, and if you've got a polyton, well, you can do all kinds of things. But if you're growing veg at home, these pots are ideal. They don't take up a lot of space. They stand on your patio. These are the results. Look at that. That and that, out of that, in the same growing season. Come on. Come on, that's a result. That's a result, Molly, isn't it, lass? Yeah, Molly says that's a result, so it's a result. So if you want to have a go at this, no doubt you'll be ordering your seed potatoes around about Christmas time. Get some leek seeds as well. Start your seeds off indoors on a windowsill. Grow them on. Plant your early potatoes when the time's right. Harvest them when the time's right. And that's exactly the time to bring your leeks into play. You'll have stood them outdoors for a couple of weeks to harden them off. Plant them up in the pots. Whoa, come on. Okay, Molly, when we go indoors, remind me that clip of film we took today on the beach, remind me to put it on the end of this video. Will you do that? Yes, you will. Okay, so this is Homegrown Veg, signing out. I've just spotted a tennis ball. I'm very surprised Molly hasn't seen it yet. Shall we see if she can find it? Molly, find that tennis ball. Find it. Go on, lass. Find it. Find it, Mo. Good girl. Find it, Mo. Hey, what a dog! What a dog! Good girl. Good girl. You want me to throw it for you? There, you want me to throw it? Just hold on.